They left me on red. Again. 4 hours later, still nothing. But they were posting stories. Laughing. Living. Ignoring me like I hadn't just poured my chest open in that last message. I sat there rereading my own words like some kind of fool who believed timing meant respect. I wanted to double text. Triple text. Explain myself into worthiness. But then I realized, every second I spent waiting for a reply was a second I was handing them power they didn't even ask for. This isn't about texts. This is about the art of emotional self-preservation. The ancient skill of appearing unbothered, not to impress them, but to protect you. It's the muscle of calm in a world engineered to provoke. And no, it's not something you're born with. It's something you build. In silence. In mirrors. In moments when you could shatter, but don't. The office kitchen, where your face writes your story. He made a joke about my pitch. Not even clever. Just cruel. Passive-aggressive, served with a smile. The others laughed. Nervously. I felt it. The heat behind my eyes, the twitch in my cheek, the tightening chest. My body wanted justice. My mouth wanted revenge. Instead, I stared at the coffee brewing. 3, 2, 1. That's funny, I said, not even looking up, and I watched him blink. Because he expected a reaction, not restraint. Here's what they don't teach you. Emotional expression is a broadcast, and your face is the antenna. Your eyebrows betray more than your words. The tilt of your head, the flicker in your eye, it's data. And we're all walking lie detectors wired with mirror neurons that scan faces for weakness, fear, apology. The moment you flinch, they know they've landed a hit. Rule 1, if you react, you lose. The first time I understood this, I was 12. A kid at school shoved me, hard, in the lunch line. I stumbled, laughed it off, didn't flinch. Later, he whispered, "You're not fun to mess with." That stuck. Fast forward to adulthood. Same game, better dressed. Every room has one, the emotional fisherman. Tossing bait in the form of sarcasm, interruption, subtle humiliation. And the second you bite, defend, explain, lash out, you lose. Because reacting equals revealing. And what you reveal, they use. Cognitive neuroscience explains this too cleanly to ignore. The amygdala, your brain's fire alarm, responds faster than logic. But when you train your prefrontal cortex to delay that spike, to wait, to breathe, you hijack the hijacker. You reclaim the wheel. It's not apathy, it's strategy. And strategy wins wars. Rule 2, hide the storm, own the room. There was a boardroom once. Bright lights, cold water, fake laughter. A senior exec challenged my entire proposal mid-presentation. Not politely. No, this was a throat punch in front of an audience. I felt it. That ancient fight-or-flight system, begging for either a comeback or a retreat. I chose neither. I adjusted my pen, took a sip of water, tilted my head slightly, then asked, "What outcome are you hoping to protect by objecting to this?" He blinked. Twice. Then backpedaled. This is what psychologists call a safety cue reversal. When you maintain calm body language under threat, you flip the power dynamic. You become the unpredictable one. And unpredictability triggers hesitation in others. They don't know what you'll do next, so they tread carefully. Your calm face isn't about being fake. It's about being unreadable, controlled. A blank canvas that others can't project onto. Because when they can't read your fear, they assume you don't have any. Rule 3, speak to yourself like you're a threat. I used to tell myself I was sensitive. That things just got to me. That I was wired this way? Cute. But what I was really doing was reinforcing my own fragility. Then I started studying autosuggestion, Napoleon Hill's obsession, also now backed by decades of research in neuroplasticity. Your brain becomes what you repeat, not just what you believe. Which means if you say, "I'm overwhelmed," guess what? Your brain obliges. It builds neural grooves that make overwhelm your default. So I wrote a new script every morning on my mirror. Nothing shakes me. I don't explain myself to chaos. I move like I know how this ends. At first it felt delusional. Then it felt possible. Then it felt true. You want to act unbothered? Start by talking to yourself like you're already unbreakable. Your brain will catch up. The dinner party, where you learn to starve their appetite. She brought up my ex, loudly, out of nowhere. That fake tone of innocence designed to stir the pot. I felt heads turn toward me, waiting, watching, wanting drama. So I laughed, quietly. "That's cute. I said, and took another sip of wine. Not because it didn't hurt, but because some people are starving for a reaction, and I've stopped feeding them. There's a psychological principle here, intermittent reinforcement. People keep pressing your buttons because once, just once, you gave them a reaction. That one hit of dopamine trains them to keep poking. So if you want it to stop, starve the pattern. Offer no fuel. Eventually, they get bored, and bored people move on. The mirror, where the real work happens. Here's the brutal truth. Most people won't respect you because you're kind, or smart, or even right. They'll respect you when they realize they can't control how you feel. The face you wear when no one's looking, that's the one that trains your nervous system. So rehearse. Train stillness. Practice silence. Let your calm become a ritual, not a reaction. Because when nothing bothers you, or at least when it looks like nothing does, you stop playing their game and start writing your own rules. And maybe that's the real flex. If this felt like the conversation you didn't know you needed, stick around. Subscribe, and let's keep this going.